Character profiles. Ooh. Okay, seriously. Now let me zoom in a little bit. All right. This is one of my favorite parts about writing is creating the characters, and it's really easy for me, especially to get super disorganized with my characters. In my head, I like to give them a lot of detail and stuff, even if I don't always come across like in the book. But, little things like that are why I love character profiles because you get to put in as much as you want so that you know when you come back to it, like this is, little things like this that help you keep track of things, even if you don't always put everything into the novel. So I have kind of three sort of sets of characters that I make these for. I have my main characters, my secondary characters, and minor characters. So main characters for me, are my protagonists and antagonists. Since I usually write in first person and only stick with one narrator, for me it's usually just a protagonist that I do this for, and then if there is like an antagonist, somebody, obviously an antagonist. So, so I do that, and then their age, their body build, their physical characteristics, even though that really goes into body build. So, well, yeah, okay, we're just gonna get rid of that. This is still a work in progress too. This is just what I'm using right now for my book. It's been really helpful, but little kinks and things like that. So physical characteristics, and then their clothing, makeup, accessories, body modifications. This especially. Almost every character in my book has some sort of scarring, just because of what they are. And it's good to keep track of, especially since it's such a prominent thing for some people. It's like the first thing you'll see about them is like their scar and where it is. Their disposition, so my main characters, what they're like at ease, what they're just kind of all about. Their movements, calculated, lazy, whatever. Their habits I really like. This is where, like little things, like, for instance, my protagonist always plays with like the hem of her shirt or her skirt or, shorts or whatever, just kind of when she doesn't think about it or when she's thinking about something. But yeah, with this, like smoking, that kind of stuff. Social status. This is also really particular to my book. These character profiles are really kind of tailored to my book right now and the characters in there. So social status, relationship with family is another big one for me too. Likes, dislikes, what they get defensive over. I really like this one. What makes my main character tick. Wants at the beginning, what they think they need, needs at the beginning, what I know they need, and then wants at the end and needs at the end. This helps me get a clear picture of kind of my character in the beginning and then through their journey where they sort of end up. And then it's good to work this out sort of beforehand. And like my outlining, this stuff always evolves. I always keep adding more or moving things around, or if something isn't working, I just come in and change it or add it. If they're an introvert or extrovert, again, this helps keep a clearer sort of idea of the mindset of the main character. How they deal with anger, sadness, and conflict. I really like these two because, again, it really just helps me get the juices flowing and thinking about how this character, acts, like what their personality is like. And then additional notes, just little things that I think of and, little quirks or whatever. So for secondary characters, this bold is usually where their name would go, and then over here in the outlining thing, I could just like skip to them. So secondary characters, their name, and then their relationship to the main character. I like that. Their age, again, I guess physical characteristics. Again, clothing, makeup, accessories, their disposition, especially if they're close to the main character. How they interact, I guess. These are really tailored toward them as a, character, as well as how they appear to the main character. Their movements, habits, their likes and dislikes, things like that. Their wants and needs just kind of rolled into one. And then their additional notes. Definitely not as in-depth as the main character, obviously. But I do like to know the characters that my main character is close to. So, like friends, parents, siblings, that kind of thing. And then for the minor characters, these guys are really just characters that, they'll pop in and out, or they're mentioned, or, people, that, my main character knows but doesn't really know, just sort of people who don't have a super big impact on the story. So the first line is relationship to the main character, and then relationship to secondary characters. For example, my main character, her best friend has a brother, and the brother's best friend to me would be a minor character. So the brother and my main character's best friend, would probably be secondary characters, just because they're both sort of influential and I know more about them than I would the brother's best friend. So their age, physical characteristics, the way they look, even though a lot of times for minor characters, I don't go into super, complex detail about how they look, but again, this is just for me to know their disposition, why they're essential to the story. So I know sometimes I can go off on a tangent and just throw in like random characters as I see fit. People who pop up once and then just have no real impact and are just kind of like, okay, why was that person there? So this helps keep me in check. Like, why do we need these people, or can we just skip them altogether? And then additional notes. And that's about it. That's the template that I've been using, and it's been really helpful. And yeah, so that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.